Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 30. Today is May 22nd. No?
I'm sorry, I
It's
just
been that
realized I
date all
have
day.
to take, and then
Uh-oh.
my brain went, oh yeah, I'm podcasting. You know, you get to the end of the row and you're like, oh, it says decrease on each end, not the end.
Darn. Dun, dun, dun. So what's been going on with you?
Not much. Spinning.
I don't know. I want to be the unique podcast that doesn't spend 3/4 of the time talking about spinning at this moment. I don't know that if knitting is
fun.
on the outs. I'm not saying that you're trying to talk about it too much. I'm just saying I've noticed of all the podcasts I watch, and I don't include us, none of them spend more time talking about knitting than they do spinning.
Oh,
All of a
okay.
sudden the tide has turned. And that might be great for you, right? Because
I'm new and I'm getting all sorts of tips and tricks.
Yep, but for me, I'm kind of I'm not spinning right now, so.
I will kind of put it as like a wah-wah, is that I got done with some awesome, fabulous fiber, and then I was excited to start something new, so I grabbed something that I got at Yarn Over, and it's a 60% merino, 40% bamboo that we realized is during our class is like mostly synthetic or
chewed up,
over
spit out,
processed and so it's very grippy and squeaky and so 40% of that, and so it's just not as zen and relaxing as the last set that I spun. So I'm like, oh well, learning curve, this will be another learning experience. Yeah, because you get through something that's just so peaceful and relaxing, and then you get to something that's challenging, and you're like, oh, I thought it was improving enough that this, but it was a completely different fiber. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
But that's it. And I have the fiber that I spun.
You guys don't get the opportunity, I'll put that in quotes, to see me walking around, but I'm kind of walking around like an old lady this week thus far because Sunday I had my first women's league soccer game, and I've been playing co-ed, right? And you would think that playing against boys would actually cause you to play pretty hard because they're faster and stronger and pushier and whatever. But oh no, women are way more competitive with other women than they are when we're playing co-ed. I mean, you just have this, I think I've noticed that with some managers as well. Like if I had a female manager, she was actually tougher on me than a male manager because it's just that those expectations of the other person are higher, and you're not going to beat me, and you're not going to be, I'm just, so I'm like, oh, old lady today.
But yeah, I could see that, and you can kind of maybe rest a little bit more because the men are kind of
hog the ball,
hogging the ball, and I was gonna say participating
nice.
more.
But yeah, it's been beautiful here, not typical, real muggy and warm. So
yes, the windows are open, so if you hear extra noise, highway noise.
Yeah. So, do you have an FO?
It's spinning.
That's fine. After I bash it.
Yeah, after she said no. No, I've been working on stuff, and I would have thought this was going to be an FO, but if you'd asked me like Wednesday or Thursday last week, I was cruising on this and then lost all mojo shortly after I finished the front part. Anyway, so this is my Into the World Children of Time from Christina. Hi. And it's 85 pult worth, 15% silk, and this was the stuff I was talking about that spun like a dream and was very relaxing. So there's my finished object.
Sorry, I'm not laughing
at
her. My cat is down here rubbing his head on her hand as she lowers it. They're so neglected, those cats are. But no, that's beautiful. So did you Navajo ply?
No, just a 2-ply.
I don't know the difference between 2-plying and Navajo plying. You'd think with all of the spinning talk that I've heard. Is it
I don't
the end,
either,
the
actually.
opposite end? Do you use the same ply?
I have only 2 plied. I have
Okay.
not even researched Navajo plying.
Which
because
means
I
you'll
don't-
get good shadows.
Mm.
2 plies, remember?
Yes.
From Clara's.
Yes. Good
Clara's class?
good shadows on those pro bumps. Anyway, yeah, so this has yet to be bathed and thwacked and all that good stuff. So the twist is not evenly distributed yet. That's what I learned happens when you thwack. So there's parts that are overspun and parts that are loose, and I guess when you whack, whack, the twist travels around the skein until it's even. So the more you thwack it, the more even it can be. But yeah, again, well, that's as far as I got. I like looking at it. It's gonna make a very pretty something.
Speaking of terminology, and I forgot to go out and Google this, we both filled out the Cookie Gay survey, which was a very good, I gave you a good concept of like things that you know about in the knitting world.
Yes.
And one of the questions was rowing. Did you have any idea what that is?
No.
Okay, me either.
I was like, well, you can call things short rowing. Is there a different kind of rowing?
Yeah.
You know, like
I
that.
was actually really smart Alec about it. Insert smart Alec there. I was like, I have rowed a boat. If that's the type of rowing. But I like to learn new techniques, you know, and then I was
I
like
pretty
the
much
brown
said-
noser, right? Then I was like, I love to learn new techniques.
I said nope. Nope. I didn't want to pretend. She'll give me an easy pattern if she picks me.
I wasn't
Especially since
pretending. I admitted that I had only rowed a boat and not rowed in knitting.
No.
So hopefully she would, yeah. Anywho, that's your FO?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Let me get to a place in the...
I will preface to say that I have knit other things. Again, I have some swap going on that I'm not going to give away the surprise. So,
Do you know that they watch?
well, she joined our group after, but I don't know if she does watch. I know she's in our group now.
Okay. Because, yeah, we both got Thank You, Bacon Fairy. May the yarn gods ever be in your favor. She is doing the Loopy 10 swap, and we both got our upstream and downstreams today. And I kind of went out into our group and went, well, she hasn't joined. I wonder if she will. This is not immediately intuitive when you look at our profiles. That
Naomi joined. Yard notes.
is she your downstream or upstream?
She's knitting for me.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if I don't have my profile. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. Which, by the way, in shout-outs, we totally went past because we were talking about, we are like, well, we've teetered between being like 3 away, and now I think we're 6 away. I think we've scared people off, maybe? People
Yeah.
are de-joining. I didn't
know.
know that
Do
people
not
did that.
pay that close attention. When you were getting this close to a number, because that happened to me at like, I think it was 700. I was paying really close attention and I saw us go up, down, up, down, up, down,
Yeah.
right around the edge of it.
I never unjoin a group, so I don't...
Oh, I do.
Oh, really?
If I've been in the group for like 3 years and I go look out there and I'm like, I really don't look at this board anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, I give it a year at least, but there's some boards that I was like, I haven't looked out here in a long time.
Anyway, we're gonna have a prize-a-palooza, folks. We're gonna be giving away t-shirts, and we've got our custom bags, and at 1,000. So go, tell recruit, tell people to join. It doesn't really decrease your odds that much in the grand scheme of things, if you think about it, because
Yeah,
you're adding like 10 people, and there's a drop in the bucket compared to 1,000. So, plus, if you're actively watching, then you can go out and go into the threads, right? So maybe those 1,000 aren't all actively watching. Let's hope. Again, I podcast searched this week. I don't know why I do it, but and found all kinds of, well, Ka Shirley contacted me about my color affection and was like, my group is doing it, go out and post your, and she's got a podcast. Like, I think it was episode 19 she was on. And then in iTunes, they just make it so that you go here, and then here's some more. There's just a bazillion podcasts out there. I think it was Fiber Nymph this week that really hit the nail on the head. She said something like, your time is valuable, and there's just a lot of podcasts out there, and thank you for, choosing to watch mine. She has an actual product that you can hear about. We just sit around and chit chat.
Yeah.
So, anyway, FO, I have my Color Affection.
Woohoo.
Yes.
Wow, it's big.
It is. It's really big for me. I'm used to the little whatever, but I think I've got enough of these 3 colors left over because I think I
to make a tiny one?
Yeah, there's like 0.4 of the Dahlia. The main contrast, or the first contrast color, I think I have like 0.5, and then the purple, I think I have like 0.6. So I could flip the colors and make a smaller one and still be able to.
And still have leftovers. Really.
Yeah, really. Yep. And so, yep, my TML has served me well. I'm a poet and I don't even know it. And I've got some folks at work that I was showing them my pictures of my kids. My kids photo bombed. I laid this on the ground, and I was taking a picture from up in the air, and they came, and Ellie laid down next to it, and then Quinn came and sat on it, and then Dexter
That's a good size comparison.
Yeah, it was, and it was unblocked. Yeah, so it only got bigger.
Wow.
But what was I saying before I went on this tangent about the?
It's big.
Yeah, it's big.
You can knit another one.
I can knit another one. My kids distracted me. But yeah, it's Oh no, I was showing my coworkers the pictures, and they were like, "If you don't want that, I would totally wear it." Like, I don't know that I'm going to give away something this big to somebody.
Don't you only have one female coworker?
I got 2 now.
Oh, okay.
And they want me to teach them to knit.
Okay.
So we'll see. The Amy love train of knitting will continue on.
I saw another knitter the other day at the bus, and she was knitting with that netting yarn, it's like, it looks like really thick yarn, but you pull it out and it's netting and make those little twirly scarves. She was making that.
Can you make like the scrubby, like the pot scrubber things out of that, or loofahs or whatever?
Maybe, but it's not rough.
Oh, okay.
So
it was so big that it didn't even fit on my my big old sewing measure board thing. I don't know what that thing is called. So I've got these little divots down here where I couldn't pull this part. I just could only pin right here. But that's okay. I've come a long way in my blocking. The only comment I would have to say is if you get to the short rows and you think that you're just smoking along, they become really long rows. Christina Knits and I were just commenting on that. They become really long. So it was a fun, fast knit, and if you buy 3 colors of TML, you can get another little baby shawlette out of it, according to my numbers. So, huzzah! That is my FO.
I need to stop working on this thing.
So you can pay attention.
So I can not taint the whole time.
Well, I can jump right into work in progress.
There you go.
So, if you're looking at this as I'm knitting it, you're looking at it and you're going, that looks awful big. And I'm going to pause here for laughter and ridicule. Laughter and ridicule me now.
Okay.
This is a bottom-up pullover. It is the February Ladies pullover. The pattern was modified by Amy Herzog. So that's not a real great picture. But I'm knitting nothing but Madeline Tosh this month, and I've got 7 days until I can cast on for Camp Loopy. So I had these skeins of Madeline Tosh MCN worsted in a beautiful colorway. In my stash, but I only have 3 of them, so there's like 560, and this thing calls for like 700 something, so I'm hoping I can just have some really short sleeves. But I was going for quick and fast, and
you're not gonna need that much.
Nothing. I've already got my first ball joined in, but the lace really stretches. I mean, it'll stretch out quite a bit with blocking. So yeah, I eating my words.
Mm-hmm.
No more bottom up pullovers, but at least I'm gonna backpedal here as fast as I can. At least it's worsted, so it feels like it's flying to me. This is my progress since Sunday. It's laced, so it's not just a bunch of stocking knit zombie until I'm blue in the face. And the colorway is just so, it's MCN, which is just like a sensory overload, wonderful
It's very
thing.
dense. It's almost bigger than worsted, it feels.
Yeah, it's on sevens. That's what the pattern calls for. So I am expecting it to stretch quite a bit.
Okay.
But it's a very beautiful colorway. I don't know. I know what the colorway was, but I think that is very aptly named. Does it remind you of anything? Dark green with pops of blue. Treetops is the colorway. So it was a Magnolia Society 2011 exclusive colorway, so you can't go out there and get it. And yeah, I love how dark green it is, and then all of a sudden there's just this really brilliant blue pops in there. Maybe, I don't know if holding it up, I don't know.
It still seems very consistent and not like
and I think
outrageous and
it's not like really drastic where you're gonna see like a line. And I think that the increasing and decreasing and this gold lace really helps. So I would definitely recommend this if you do have a colorway that's really
crazy.
Yeah, going reticulating back and forth a lot between.
I think my February lady was out of some pretty. I mean, it was all variants of purple, but it seemed pretty crazy when I was knitting it, and it ended up being pretty.
So yeah, this is going to be my Mad May ladies pullover. So, yep. And then you'll see in enabling what I'm going to be doing come Sunday for Camp Loopy. I'm loopied out.
Yeah.
Got a loopy swap and a...
Yeah, you're going to have a loopy June.
Yeah. A loopy due date June. I guess that's better than the due date I had last year in June. A lot less painful.
Yeah.
My youngest was born last June, so I mean, I are chuckling and people are at home going, "Why was your June so painful last year?" Only the one work in progress.
So this is my front of the back to school, and I really like it. But like I said, I was cruising on the front and went, this is gonna be finished for next week. And then I got to like Thursday night and I started spinning. And then I had, swap stuff that I was working on, and it's a monster swap, so it's toys. And then I had a sock that I was knitting on for busing, my commute. So this thing got put away and didn't really get much love after these little, front flaps were done. So now I'm working on the back flap, the back, if it were. And it's, apparently I can't read directions well enough while podcasting to work on it.
It is hard. I'll give you that.
And
I've noticed on the episodes where I'm knitting something that has lace, I comment much, like if I'm just watching to try to catch a name or whatever, I comment way less on your things when I'm knitting something that's made more intensive. Like my folded, I interrupted you constantly and made it all about me, right? Like, oh, she's talking about that. So yeah.
You turkey.
Yeah, I did. I totally turkeyed you.
So this is how far I made it on the second.
So beautiful.
The second Georgia on My Mind sock by Leslie of the Knit Girls. And so I realized part of the way through this heel that I wasn't doing the heel to the pattern. I apologize, Leslie. I know I'm a test knitter, and I totally botched the heel. It looks written properly. I did have corrections already submitted for the way it was written, but I did realize that I wasn't following her directions. I just went on heel autopilot and did it. And then this one, I did it the exact same way, and I went, hey, I'm not following her pattern at all. So,
stitch count stayed the same, and
oh yeah, it was just that there's a different pattern in the slip stitches in her pattern than what I came up with. So
what your brain filled in.
Yeah. Again, I went into mindless
ad lib.
Yeah. Mindless heel mode. Boop boop boop. And then finished the entire sock. Did not realize I had made that mistake. And then got to the second heel and went, wait a minute. I pull out the pattern again. Oh, whoops. So, and since I like my things to match, and I'm kind of OCD that way, this one's going to be false as well. But yeah, so that might disqualify my pictures from making it into the final pattern. But it's a very nice pattern, Leslie, and I'm sure lots of people are anxious to get their hands on it. And yeah, that's it. I have 2 and then secret, so I have 3 right now. Active.
That's like,
active.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's not a whole lot for you.
Active. There's plenty of ones that are sitting on the sidelines waiting for the weather to get cold again.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I don't want to work.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was like, are you knitting anything specifically for SSK?
No.
Like a Rhinebeck sweater, but an SSK. I don't know. It'd have to be like a tank top, right? It's muggy and warm and.
I have some tank tops already done, so I'm not like all.
You have a
stressed.
wonderful one on right now.
Yes,
at BTW.
But no, I bought some of that cotton yarn, and I am thinking, or the cotton and linen, and I am thinking about making a 2-ball something.
Ooh.
And starting it in June. So yeah, stay tuned. I will come up with something before June starts, and hopefully that'll be my 2-ball addition to everybody else's 2-ball.
Mm-hmm. We've had some good ones out there.
Yeah. No, seriously. I was gonna give Ooh Fancy Pants some crap about it not being finished in her picture. But I assumed that it was a gift for the baby recipient, and she didn't get a finished picture before it got gifted, or something happened.
Yeah.
But the
Katie Bell had some
sleeves
monkeys out there. They were
Yeah.
very pretty. Saw
And
that.
Katie Bell won
Oh.
the Mrs. Babs.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, go girl. Yeah. It's funny. It's a small world after all.
Yes.
World after all. It's a small world after
They're like,
all.
shoot me now! Stop
No,
singing!
you're gonna have it in your head all the rest of the
Well,
day.
That would be my kids. Stop singing!
Yeah.
No!
I have totally come to grips with the fact that I am that parent, right? Like, I'm the one that's like, I'm gonna embarrass my kids. I'm getting old enough that I don't care. Do you remember your parents doing that? Like, I remember vividly, like, standing outside of, I think it was Red Lobster, and, like, that Blue Orgy song, what was it called? How does it feel to treat me like you do? And my dad's, like, standing there going, I'm in high school, and I'm like, oh my god, Dad, why?
Awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've totally become my father. I'm like, I'm gonna embarrass you.
I do not remember my parents embarrassing me in that way. But I embarrass my kids when nobody's around. Apparently, I'm embarrassing enough in our own house. But they're like, Mom, stop it, no! Like, who's gonna see you? It's you and your sister. I don't understand why I can't sing and dance and be silly in my own house. It's just too embarrassing.
Really, I mean, I'm like actually really proud that when I sing and dance, or like we turn music on, that my less than 1-year-old will sit there and like bob his head and do a little dancing, right? I'm like, you come from a fun family, little guy. If you know how to dance already and you're not even 1, you can't even walk and you're dancing.
I did see that out in the Peace Plaza, they had some music going, and there was a baby that was honestly dancing.
Yep.
And he had, it was like a 6 to 9-month-old kid. Like my radar's a little off, but that's about where that kid was. And man, cute, cute, cute.
As I sit here and look at what I'm knitting, I also thought I'd point out that I have now, because of a swap gift, it's like a little tackle box. Lois, love the back. It's like a little tackle box, and I have all these little pretty stitch markers in it. I used to only use these little, whatever people call them, Dicky Doos. I always just use those because it was really easy to move them because they're whatever. Now I'm all like blinging out my knitting.
I didn't realize you didn't have one of those boxes. I have two.
Oh.
I use them all the time.
But like I was always like, oh, I don't need to, and so they would always get kind of like, squirreled away somewhere where I never really used them. I just used the little cheap plastic ones, and now I'm like, that's pretty, and oh, I like this one, and they match. And then we've got these, were they Hayas from Bacon Fairy?
Those are nice. I use those all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I too.
Do you have your bling in there?
Yeah. There's not as many on this one. This one's got needles.
Look at these. I got these in the Loopy Swap. They look like little cherries. Oh, they're so beautiful.
Bacon Fairy gave me these cupcakes.
It's like a Bacon Fairy episode.
And then I had a British Sherlock Holmes swap. And she gave me these really cool ones. So they're like, red, white, and blue, but
Yep.
Go with the Union Jack.
So now my kids are all like, Mom, what is that on your knit? Mom, does that get knitted in? Ellie asked me, and I'm like,
she's got all sorts of technical questions for you about those things.
Yes. And I'm like, no, it's just and mark something. Well, what do you mark? And I'm like, well, I'm doing something different. And it's all very foreign because all she does is knit.
Mm-hmm.
She never even purls.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be so proud of her, fat squirrel. So yeah, are we on to bigger and better things?
Enabling, I guess.
Yes.
All right, go enable.
I got me some enabling. So if you were out on Plurk, you saw, and I'll share. But let me just here. Hold that.
Oh yes, gargoyle.
Roxy, the Roxy base of the Grinning Gargoyle, Thunder Snow is the colorway, arrived last week, and it is to die for.
This does remind me of my.
It's this, I think it's the same content as your Prissy Girl and the Epiphany.
Oh, okay.
That Epiphany yarn. So I think it's probably my new favorite combination because I'm kind of on an anti-merino kick right now. Like, it's not that I don't like it, but it just seems so common to me now. And I don't know if it's because I'm growing as a knitter or if I just filled my stash with merino and now everything seems so exotic and non-merino, So this is a 70-20-10. It's baby alpaca, silk, and cashmere. 430 yards in one skein. And it's just, in certain lights it's blue, in other lights it's gray. You never know what you're going to get with Thunder Snow. Sometimes
Very
it's
cool.
silvery. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with it, but whatever it is going to be luxurious. And she is very open to custom orders, and because I don't know how often she stocks her Etsy shop.
She said she was trying to get better at it.
Yeah.
She's learning the business, as it were,
Yeah.
Because it's ever evolving. You can stock your awesome booth at a fiber show and have everybody ask you, when's your update? And you're like, what?
Because we as knitters are all like conditioned to there's an update and you're scrambling and trying to get it and not get carjacked and whatever, and they're all like, what?
Yeah, she's like, update, when do I update? I update when I have yarn. I don't understand, when's my update?
She did want me to specify, though, that if you love this colorway, as in most one-of-the-kind dyeing jobs, you wouldn't necessarily get this specific one if you requested it, right? It might turn out a little darker or a little lighter, or if it's on a different base, the yarn will take it a little differently. So, thunder snow. Mine.
Beautiful.
Yes. And then the other purchase that came this week for me, and this might be, again, very long-winded, but we just smoked through.
Woohoo!
I mean, 31 minutes yet. People saw it out on Plurk again, because I've been picture happy. I'm like, ooh, pictures. My Camp Loopy, at the last moment, I think it was, when did you have to have it in? The 19th? The evening of the 19th, before I left work, I was like, I want to knit something, and I want to knit it out of the Sportmate, the Lorna's Laces that's got the Outlast in it, that's supposed to like cool you down, because I'd been washing my husband's socks. I'm like, do they make your feet? Well, they don't make them real warm. I don't know that they necessarily cool them down, but it's not as warm as those other socks that you made me. And I just fell in love with this color. It's got really dark blues and really light blues. And so I've got it all skeined up and ready for Sunday, because Camp Loopy, I'm in Team Blue Canoe. I thought that was so cute.
Oh, the canoes.
Yeah, you're the canoe based on what you bought. So this is 512 Cermak. Is that how you would say that? Cermak? Cermak. And their Sportmate is their sport weight version of Soulmate, and it's 70% superwash merino and 30% Outlast, which I'm sure is some synthetic thing, but if it keeps me from pitting out, I don't care.
So classic.
I'm sorry, that's the truth. Yeah. So I was going to knit I put a poll out there, because I've also been very poll happy this past week.
You have been poll happy. I have noticed that.
Yeah, so I was like, when do you want to VKN? And what do you think I should knit with my yarn? And I was going to knit the Lapis, which won the my poll by quite a lot, actually, out in
Lapis.
Yeah, Lapis. I don't know how.
I called it lapis.
Lapis is how you would say it in Spanish, I think.
Okay, I'm just.
Okay.
I would be all like,
but as
American about it.
Yeah. Well, so the challenge is you have to do 400 yards. I have over 800, and it has to be a designer. The pattern has to be a designer that isn't from your country. So for me, it would be not an American. And that one was by, why can't I remember her name? It's very. We'll link it. I'll link it. It's. But she's from, I believe, Taiwan, but I just don't think this has enough sheen. It doesn't have silk in it. She knit it out of all
that's
silk.
True. The yarn you have isn't quite suited for it.
So I'm clicking around and looking, and I have a custom search in Ravelry that's patterns I've bought but haven't used. and have favorited, and there's a whole bunch of other things. But so I had favorited the cover of Knit Scene, it's spring, summer special issue, Knit Scene, 2012. 23 bright knits. I don't know if that's what the special issue is called or whatnot. And so I had favorited this because it's got a pocket and it's kind of sporty and it's not a full sleeve. And I click on it and it says it's by Amanda Bell. And I'm like, is this another Amanda Bell? And then I look at it and it's from Germany. I'm like, the Amanda Bell I know is from Germany. So Amanda, Test Knit, my serrated, designer of this. Mm-hmm. I was like kismet, like God light came down and went, oh, you must knit this. So congratulations, a zombie. She watches, mm-hmm. every week, and I'm just so humbled that she published designer here, Test Knit for me, right? Like maybe I should have just given the pattern to her and said, You do with it what you need to. But yeah, so that's what that is going to become. And I think I'm going to be a little short. Like it might, again, need to be short sleeve instead of long sleeve. But I'm okay with that. Don't want it to be overly warm. Love the pocket. Love the collar. It's top down, so you can't ridicule and laugh at me. So that will be going on. And I'm supporting fellow zombie, Amanda Bell, and congratulations. So, and that is the story of my Lorna's Lace and Sport Paint.
Bow out.
Well, I just felt like it was like, that made my day. I was so excited. I was like, this is the perfect pattern. She is German, and she is a zombie, and she helped me in my time of need. Totally could have did her thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
My acquisitions have all been for spinning, and I don't have them all yet. But they're kind of fun. So I say all. I didn't bring them all. Some of them are on their way, and some of them, yeah. So the ones that got here are not all
Fictional fiber?
Well, no, not fiber, not yarn, just things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Things. Fictional paraphernalia?
Yes, paraphernalia. So I bought a book. I bought the Fiber Source, Fleece and Fiber Source that everybody has. That was like,
I don't.
Well, everybody who's spinning and reviewing it and whatnot.
Yeah.
It was like being registered for like a textiles class and picking up your textbook. It was so much fun to get in the mail, and you're like flipping through it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful book. It's just well put together, beautiful layout, beautiful pictures, beautiful font. It's just a good, and it reminded me of a textbook. Like, wow, way more information than I might use, but it's there. So it's almost like I can't wait for my first little like question to ask my textbook. You know, like I don't have one yet. I looked up BFL, so Blue-Faced Lancaster Line. Yeah, Blue-Face BFL.
Mm-hmm. That's
But,
probably why people say BFL, because it's hard to say that last L word, like Leicester,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was out purchasing things for my spinning, I kept saying I need a niddy noddy, but I kept hesitating before purchasing. Like I just could not spend the money.
For all of us non-spinners, what does the niddy noddy do?
So you take your plied yarn that's officially done, and you
Spin the wax.
wind it off. Well, no.
Oh.
You wind it off the bobbin onto this thing, and it kind of, let's see if I can get it back on. Might not go back on. No. So you wind it around like this, except this is on here. And then you tie it, and then you can pull it off, and this is in a 2-yard loop. So now you can just count how many of these there are, and you know your yardage. So I read about how to make one of these online, easy peasy, and went to Menards and told the guy behind the counter, would you cut this for me if I bought it? He's like, well, what if I cut it and it's not right? I was like, oh, it's not for plumbing. It's just a thing. You can't ruin it. Trust me. And so he cut it, and I left Menards with a complete niddy noddy for $1.78.
How much are they normally?
Well, a wooden one like this will run you $10 on Etsy plus like $7 for shipping.
Mm-hmm.
They've sanded off the, like barcodes and stuff on it, so it's just a plain white tubing. But $17.
And you knew all the specifications, like as far as how far in it needed to go, and
yeah, just each pipe. So this is 6 inches, and there's 4 of them, and this one's 18 inches. So this isn't.
How about the fittings?
These were just purchased.
But I mean, do you need to know what the depth is on the fittings, or no? Sorry, my mathematical mind is going, how does it know that's a yard around?
Oh, so it's supposed to be, they gave me 18-inch specifications. This is probably going to be bigger than 18 inches because the pipe fitting goes up like
Mhm.
3. It's not going to be exact.
So you're underestimating your
Yes.
yardage. Got it.
Yes. I'm underestimating my yardage, so that should be fine. I'll always have a little extra on my yardage. It's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not anal. I'm going to be fine.
You're not going to make things short sleeve because you run out of yardage like me.
I'm not going to worry about it. But that made me happy, saving money on this. And then I purchased some used bobbins. Thank you.
Plus, you were like DIY, man.
Yeah, DIY used bobbins. And I think, I fell down and bought one of those cup holder things. I have yet to be to a spinning night where I would like actually need like a thing, but I did go outside and spin on my deck in the nice weather, and that is awesome. You think sitting down and knitting is fun? Sitting down and spinning is just an extra added, like, I don't know, it just feels even more defiant.
Do you feel like you're at a Renaissance fair, or?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's what I think of when I see people like when we went to Shepherd's Harvest and people
Yeah.
were sitting outside spinning. I'm like, you totally could be rocking the Renaissance fair.
It should be
right
the
now.
really big wheel and the old fashioned.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, my big thing about that is that I could probably use a cup holder for outside, and and I do want to knit with or spin with other people. But yeah, there's a little bit of that air of like, what was it? I got a button that said spinning because knitting isn't weird enough. So you got that little like, I know how to do something that a small portion of the population know how to do.
And I'm only
That's very
going
cool.
to admit this to you and the people that are watching, but I did kind of have like a wow, that's kind of cool moment when I saw, I don't know what kind it is, has the quick release, the bike.
Oh yes,
Quick
sidekick.
Yeah, has the, I'm like, that's badass. My husband would get into that. Like, because it has an actual bike part type thing in it.
And you'd be surprised at how many people get mesmerized when you're spinning. Like, I've had like, when I'm knitting, people kind of ignore what I'm doing. But when I'm spinning, I have a lot of people who are not looking at me. They're looking at the wheel when they're talking to me. They're not even looking at me anymore. It's like up here,
My eyes are up here, buddy. Hey, lady, my eyes are up here.
Not on the wheel.
Yeah.
Eyes off the wheel. But yeah, because it's rhythmic, and it's got all these mechanical moving parts that are just intriguing to most men. They're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Look
See,
at all the parts
that's
moving.
not enough for me to intrigue my husband. He finds me intriguing in other ways. But anyway, I'm sitting over here blushing now. Go on.
So, yeah, most of my acquisitions have been for my wheel, who has yet to be named. But again, like I said, the other fiber
Is it a
went
boy or
on
a girl? Have you sexed your wheel?
Yeah, it's a girl.
Oh, okay.
She.
You work well together? You're not competitive?
No. So far, we get along just fine. Yeah, it's the fiber I'm cursing at this moment.
So the fiber is male?
Yeah, probably. Although it's like cotton candy colored.
Yeah.
So. But this was my acquisition.
Oh,
Otherwise,
I heart nerds. Or apple. I apple nerds.
yeah, it's the shape of a heart, but I apple nerds
Yeah.
because nerds like apples.
Mm-hmm.
So, this was all Laura Lindemann's doing. She plurked about one that she was thinking about buying or wanted to buy or said it was perfect for somebody else, and
Plurk enabling.
Plurk enabling. And so I went out there and I perused her little things. And I kind of wanted the Nerds one in bigger, like this one, the books one. But it wasn't out there and I needed instant gratification. So I bought the little Nerds one and then bought the bigger one in iHeartBooks. Now, they might end up being part of Swap Pal packages and stuff. I can't quite decide. I do have her card, or their card, if I need it. But basically, these are designs that they have drawn and had printed, and made these little packets. So this is, unique to them, and the designs say 2012 on them, on the back.
Those would be cute, like teachers' gifts too.
Kukubee. 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 And it was an Etsy shop. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with the little small one. I might have to just start carrying, change in it, because I'm not a change purse kind of person, but I need to use it because it's so cute.
Yeah.
It's adorable. And I heart books. Although this would all be transferred into Kindle mode. So this is me imagining myself on top of a pile of books reading my Kindle.
Because your Kindle is literally a pile of books.
Yes. Right? But yes, I love to read, and I do love books. Like I said, I bought my Fleece and Fiber book, and it brought me back to a certain time, and I love.
Did it have that new book smell? And that heft of a textbook?
It had the heft of a textbook, and it had glossy, nice pages, right? Like the textbooks quality pages, and all that for $23 on Amazon. So can't beat that. So yeah, I didn't bring the book. I mean, everybody's seen the book, but I bought the Fleece and Fiber source book.
Quinn's fussing. Baby's fussing. Sorry for all of you that are watching this and your kids are sleeping.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of comments about that.
Yeah, there you go. It's not your kid.
Yep. It's my kid. He's just going to get himself back to sleep. He'll be fine.
Yay.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Self-soothers unite.
Yep.
But, yeah, that was it for enabling. I'm sure when my other enabling gets here. I did order a cute little something from Etsy, but it's coming from Taiwan. And I did not know that when I ordered it. So I got this little note in my mailbox that said you have to pick this up at the post office, or you have to sign this and leave it in your mailbox. So I signed it and left it in my mailbox and waited the extra few days. I'm like,
yeah.
They'll re-deliver it where I told them to, now that I've signed for it.
Before we sign off, I wanted to mention that one of those polls that we had was when to have a VKN. And so tomorrow night, tentatively, hopefully life doesn't get in the way. You said that like 8:30, 9 o'clock would work best for you, like after story time, right?
Yep.
So we'll probably put something out on Plurk. Google Hangouts only support 10 folks, so it will be, we unfortunately will take 2 of them because we won't be in the same locale, even though we'll both be in the same city. And we'll post it out on Plurk, and then I'll probably plop it out in on Ravelry somewhere, and encourage you to hang out. I got to meet Lois at Admitting's My Bag this past weekend, which was fabulous. She is gorgeous. She's a good-looking lady to be sitting in a sweatshop or sewing bags. She said something about like at 10 o'clock she got up, and she'd been sitting there for like 9 hours straight, and I was like, oh Lord, I don't think I could sit at a sewing machine for 9 hours straight. It's probably why she's willing to put up with listening to us. Don't you think?
Yeah. Need to pass the time.
Yep. But she was an accomplice for me on a custom order this week, and so I wanted to give her a shout out. Backwards format this week. Shout outs at the end. Or throughout, really.
Yeah, throughout. Yeah.
But I think my baby is saying that I should we should quit podcasting here, and I'll go see what's the matter with him. Not self-soothing.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.